Hey guys, Jamie here. Welcome to another pickup video. Yeah, I would have done this earlier, like a few days ago, but as you know, been sick the last week. I was away for a week just to get a change of scenery. Then I came home and then I caught you know what for the second time. So I've been sick for a while. But I just thought I'd get this pickup video out today because got nothing else to do. So yeah, there's 3 DVDs, a lot of books. But I just thought I'd show this off first. Got another PS2 memory card. So yeah, cool. I think there's like some old like Need for Speed and FIFA stuff on it. So anyway, the DVDs are all wrestling DVDs. Starting off, the 2009 Royal Rumble. This one is infamous for I think Matt Hardy's heel turn. But overall, it's a good event. I actually quite liked it. This is actually the only 2009 pay per view I have. Weirdly, for some reason I never see 2009 pay per views. But the CEX I went to actually had a lot of DVDs, but I didn't want to spend too much. I only got 3 DVDs, but I was happy with what I got. I was going to get Money in the Bank 2011, but when I got out, I realized it was 2012, and then I went back in and they didn't have the disc, unfortunately. But not to worry, I'll get it at some point. I will. I'll get it at some point. One day, you can mark my words, you will see me showing off Money in the Bank 2011 on this channel at some point. Anyway, yeah, I've watched all of these, by the way. So yeah, there's Matt Hardy versus Jack Swagger, Jeff Hardy Edge, and then that seed at JBL. I really like that. The story going into that was basically the story going into that was Shawn was broke. Well, broke. I highly doubt he was actually broke in real life, but I don't know. And basically, he was forced to work with JBL. He really didn't want to, but he had no choice. And it was actually a good story going into the match. I had a lot of drama. So yeah, 2009 Rumble match. Also, RVD returned in that during the match. That was a surprise appearance. But yeah. Anyway, next DVD was first ever Best of Raw and SmackDown. The Best of Raw and SmackDown 2011. I do have another Best of DVD, but it's the Best of NXT 2017. Don't have any others. Well, until I got this one. Best of Raw and SmackDown 2011. Edge retired. The Summer of Punk. Miz was WWE champion for some reason. Randy Orton, Christian. 2011 was just. I think 2011 is criminally underrated. Criminally underrated year. I've only got one pay per view, weirdly, which is SummerSlam. And like I said, I was going to get Money in the Bank, but they didn't have the disc, unfortunately. But like I said, I will get it at some point. Anyway, the matches like Miz versus Morrison, Falls Count Anywhere. Mysterio versus Cena for the title. The Steel Cage match, Randy Orton, Christian. CM Punk versus Alberto Del Rio. There's so much good stuff on here. There's also the segment where Dolph was given the title. Remember the segment where Dolph Ziggler was given the world title? Then he was forced to defend it against Edge, who had been fired. He was rehired. Then Edge won the title, and then Dolph got fired. So yeah, sorry for spoiling that whole segment, but I mean, it was in 2011. If you haven't seen it by then, don't come crying to me, alright? I do apologise for spoiling it, but if you haven't seen it by now, then come on. Anyway, yeah, some great stuff on this. Mark Henry Hall of Fame as well. I really like. I don't know. I don't get why people hate 2011. I get that it was PG, but the weekly TV was brilliant. 2011. Anyway, probably my favorite DVD that I picked up was this: Bret the Hitman Hart. The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. Yeah, this. I was so excited to watch this. When I saw this, I was like, I have to get it. I mean, look at the match card. Match listing. Bret Hart versus the Hart Foundation versus the British Bulldogs. Hart Foundation versus the Rockers. Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect, SummerSlam 91. Bret Hart versus Owen Hart, WrestleMania 10. Bret versus Stone Cold, WrestleMania 13. There's also what else is on here? What other matches are on here? Let me just get the match listing out. Oh, I forgot to show the discs for the other ones, by the way. Look at that. Look at these discs. Beautiful. Then I'll just show you the match listing. Look at this. King of the Ring semi-final, Bret versus Mr. Perfect. Bret Hart versus Ricky Steamboat. Bret Hart versus Ted DiBiase. That one didn't have commentary. Bret Hart versus Ted DiBiase. Then down here, Bret versus Diesel, or Kevin Nash, Survivor Series 95. That In Your House, Bret versus the British Bulldog, that was one of my favourite matches on this. That was really good. And then the Owen Hart tribute match. The Owen Hart tribute match. Bret Hart versus Chris Benoit. Good match. I know it's kind of controversial and forgotten now because of, well, Benoit, but good match is a good match. You know what I mean? And just for sake, here's the Raw and Smackdown one that I forgot to show. Yeah, that disc is a little bit loose, unfortunately. Can't do anything about that, but yeah. Some really good stuff here. Really good stuff on that 2011 set. One of my favourites, actually. Like I said, I'm a big CM Punk guy. Well, I was a big CM Punk guy. I do like CM Punk nowadays, but he's a bit of a drama magnet. You know what I mean? And just for clarification, here is the disc for the 2009 Rumble. I don't think I have any of the DVDs. Well, I have Survivor Series 2008. I'd never seen that Greatest Stars of the 90s one. I don't know if it's rare or if I just never see it. But yeah, anyway. Nearly 7 minutes and I haven't even got to the books yet. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Moving on to the books. There's one autobiography. One that is sort of an autobiography, but it's just a bunch of stories. And the rest is fantasy stuff. Anyway, for autobiography was Tom Felton, Beyond the Wand, the magic and mayhem of growing up a wizard. Yeah, this was really enjoyable. I actually flew through this thing. I read it like 3-4 days. It was really good. Some good pictures in here as well. Like some pictures from Harry Potter. There's Buckbeak. All that. Yeah. That's Voldemort, by the way. That's the guy that plays Voldemort, I think. Yeah, it is. But yeah. Anyway. Basically goes through his childhood as well. I didn't even know that he was in the Borrowers. He was in the. I didn't actually. I think I've seen the movie once years ago. But I genuinely didn't even know he was in it. He was also in Planet of the Apes and some movie called Anna and the King, which I've never seen, but I assume is some random world famous movie that everyone on the planet has seen, and people are going to get mad at me for never seeing it. Anyway, if you haven't read this, if you like Harry Potter, give this a read. It's quite good actually. Anyway, and the next book, which I'm about halfway through-ish, is Billy Connolly, Told Tales and Wee Stories. As I said, I'm about halfway through this one. It's really good. There's like some really funny stories in here, and that's a new bookmark I picked up, by the way. What does it say on it? It is taken from the Atlas Minor by Joan Blue, a Dutch. This 11-volume work published between 16 something, whatever, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, whatever. Yeah, really funny stories in this one. That's all I can say, really. It's just a bunch of funny stories so far, from his childhood and all that. And when he was in a band called the Humble Bums. That is literally the most Scottish thing I've ever heard. Anyway, yeah, can't wait to get finished with this one. Because I want to move on to the fantasy stuff that I bought. It is all by an author by the name Lee Bardugo, if anyone has heard that name. And the trilogy I bought, well, not all of these I bought, but I was allowed to keep them, so I just thought I'd show them all off here. First up is the Shadow and Bone trilogy. Now a Netflix show, apparently. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard of these books, and I wanted to read them for myself. So there's all the spines. The set is beautiful. Look at this set is just. It's a great look at it. It's absolutely beautiful. I'll show off all the covers, by the way, as well. There you go. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful set of books. We've got Shadow and Bone. Ruin and Rising. You can't really see that. Sorry, it's red. Ruin and Rising and Siege and Storm. Can't wait to read these. Just let me shove them all in here back in. Sorry. So excited to read this series. I'm a big like fantasy novel guy. I've only read like The Hunger Games and Harry Potter and Narnia and Percy Jackson. Those are the only ones I've read. But I tried to read Lord of the Rings as well, but couldn't really get into it. But yeah, very excited to read this. Next one I bought, I haven't bought. This one. This is the other one I bought. Ninth House. All of this is Lee Bardugo, by the way. Ninth House. This one is apparently like a thriller. There's another one. The only two I need to get are the sequel to this, which is called Hellbent, and the sequel to, I may as well show them all off now. Rule of Wolves, the prequel to this, I need to get. The first one is called King of Scars. I haven't got that one yet. But yeah, and this, hang on, move over. The Six of Crows duology. Six of Crows, hang on, sorry, in the wrong order. Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. Absolutely beautiful books. So yeah, I've heard all these are good. Like I said, I'm a big fantasy guy. So yeah, that's all the books that I picked up recently. Hang on a minute. Let me just shove this all in here. So yeah, bit of a jumbled end, but that's all the stuff that I picked up recently. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'm going to go and jump on the exercise bike, and I'll see you next time.